hello everybody, and welcome back to the cosplay podcast, Dragoncon 2017 special. Yeah, that works. That'll work. And I'm your host, Danny Huang, and we've got
Dave.
Collier.
Yes, however the Americans like to pronounce it.
Sean O'Donnell.
Sweet. And you're well, you're not a native, but you're from Florida, but you're originally from New England, so you've got you've been to a lot of cons in America then?
Yes.
And yeah, you wanted to explain the differences of some of the American cons, because there was a lot of people who says, oh, well, there are better cons than DragonCon, but my problem I got with that is I have a friend who's come all the way from Seattle. And it's like, well, if he's coming all the way from Seattle, then surely that can't be the case. So,
remember, it's PAX this weekend in Seattle as well, and you've got to go some to beat PAX, and I think DragonCon does.
Yeah. I've been to a lot of conventions, and I mean, the one thing I find that maybe good for some people, but kind of annoys me, is that it's just a giant dealer hall. You're walking into a giant room to try to spend your money. Very little panels. An autograph session. It's all jam-packed into one room, one convention hall. DragonCon is spread out through, multiple hotels, and there's so much going on. It's just so much better. So much better.
Okay. And like I said, this is my third year, and I believe this is your fifth year, eh, Dave?
Yep, fifth.
I think it's my 9th or 10th year. So yeah, we came here and we never looked back. Just keep coming. We just keep coming.
Okay, I mean, yeah. Even though I've only been here 3 years, there's definitely been some changes. It's like I know it's the Thursday, because the Thursdays, first time in 2 years, they were right. They were rowdy, but they were really, really busy this time around. Would you say in your 9 years experience, it's actually getting more and more busier then?
Yes. Thursday became the new Friday a few years back, and now Wednesday is becoming the new Thursday. So yeah, and they have panels and stuff, tracks already starting on Friday or Thursday. So it's definitely starting earlier and earlier. Soon it will just be the whole week.
Again, we did see somebody in costume on the Tuesday, didn't we? In the bar down there.
Technically, I don't think it was for DragonCon. I think it had something to do with that football game, because it was a cheesehead, the Packers, I believe.
We're going to shrug our shoulders and say, yeah, someone was in costume. Maybe, maybe not. It was still Tuesday, for God's sake.
All right. Semantics then. And all right. Where do we start? I mean, yeah, we've already discussed that it's definitely getting busy. Let's roll around. Yeah, Thursday. So how was everyone's Thursday then?
Thursday was busy. Got in the hotel and immediately put on the costume and went out and started getting pictures right away. So, yep, it was pretty good. Pretty good time.
Yeah, Thursday for me. So started off, we had breakfast in this awesome old school diner called Landmark Diner, a bunch of us. Picked up our con passes, and that was very, very smooth. That was so fast, wasn't it? Yeah. That was, I think, 3 minutes for stepping foot in the building to get our pass. Wow. Incredibly fast. And then I went and put on the Joker costume for the first time. And I should say, my voice is going a little bit because penguin voice for 2 days. But anyway, yeah, Joker costume for the first time, electroshock therapy machine for the first time, and ran around causing chaos. Met up with my American friends, Kelsey, who was playing Harley, and Dougie, and yeah, we had just awesome time.
Okay, and for the first time ever, I went to the Bunny Hutch, and I have to admit, it's kind of cool. Though one fatal flaw: there's no bathroom in the Bunny Hutch, which means if you have to leave for the bathroom, you have to reline up, which basically is 2 hotel lengths long.
Oh boy, wow! I've never actually got into one of the Bunny Hutch parties and stuff like that. Out of the 9 years I've been coming, never got over.
Put some rabbit ears on your penguin costume. It's on the top hat. You'll be the belle of the ball. Seriously.
I'm not really sure if it qualifies as a party per se, because it was held in one of the ballrooms. It might have been a long time ago, but and they were boasting that it is like apparently the biggest unofficial party because it's not part of the track and all that. And I believe so because they were having music setups and all that. I mean, okay, my information might be wrong, and feel free to correct me in the comments. but yeah, we had some burlesque acts, and there was like its own little miniature contest. But it was like I said, it was definitely massive because of the sheer fact that I had to when I had to hit the restrooms, I had to reline up, and the lines were really, really long.
Yeah, the lines keep getting longer for everything these days. It's but the more people that come, the more popularity something gets, the longer the lines get. And I think they moved it into one of the ballrooms because it got so popular and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I think it was 82,000 this year, which is up about 5,000 compared to last year, and up about another 5,000 compared to the year before that. Does that sound about right?
All right, yeah. And 5,000 people makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, it really, really does. Saturday, the sky bridges between the Marriott and the Hyatt especially. Oh, we are, yes. We are. Yes. Back to Thursday.
No, because we already talked the bunny heights. That was midnight. And then we had Friday, and yeah, that was because generally speaking, in the UK, the Friday is the most quietest day in any con. But the Fridays at Dragoncon was, yeah, the sky bridges were just chock up. I actually was getting upset. I thought, did some idiot break the rule? Was somebody taking photographs on a sky bridge? And then I realized, no, it wasn't. It wasn't because somebody was taking photos on the sky bridge. It was because they couldn't move, that they might as well have taken photographs.
Yeah. We when it's middle of the day and everybody's getting to every place, I mean, most of the time it's still hot outside, but it's so much quicker to just go around on the street and get wherever you need to go instead of taking the sky bridges. Definitely.
Yeah, Friday we had a couple of highlights. Me and Sean, we got a picture with Nathan Fillion with basically three penguins, and maybe we should post this picture of the three penguins and Nathan Fillion into the podcast. And we're back.
Okay, actually, that's a good point to remind us. Because normally when I go to a cons, I don't normally do the photo op guest thing. So this is the first time I've experienced how Dragoncon run it, even though I think it's obviously a separate company. And I gotta say, they do it with a really, really good military precision, as opposed to how, let's say, Showmaster did Stan Lee a long time ago.
Well, speaking of Stan Lee, after that, I got a photo with two other friends as me the Penguin with Joker and Harley, and with a big sign saying even Batman villains heart Stan Lee. Please post it into the podcast now. And we're back. And yeah, again, that very, very, very nicely done. Went through very fast. We got a little thumbs up from Stan Lee, although I think he's very tired because he's not the youngest guy. But he's, here. And yeah, Showmasters, take note. This is how you have Stanley at a con and have it working really nice and smoothly. And yeah, absolute pleasure to see the gentleman. And we got pretty much the coolest photo in the history of the universe.
Yeah, again, by comparison, just to give you a ballpark figure, because I remembered when I did get the infamous Stanley picture, you might have had one or two guys organizing the line, and yeah, it was not it. Yeah, it was a bit of a clusterfuck. Let's just be blunt. Whereas how they organized the Nathan Fillion lines, there was about 5 times more staff. So you had people being crowded into another people, being told to form double lines, and it went really smoothly. And everyone was given booking group. So you were, because I was in group 8, and we were told specifically to come at this time. And yeah,
And they were saying things like, yes, go and stand behind the guy with the blue sign, your group. Go and stand by the yellow sign. All the flooring is marked out, so where you had to stand. It went very, very smoothly.
They definitely know what they're doing. And I think this is a newer company, and they've only been doing it for a few years, 2 years. So learn a little bit more from last year. Next year, they're going to be even more organized about it. And
The big thing, because the previous company, which also did it, always did a good job. The problem you had with the previous company is you had to wait up to an hour for your photos. This current company, you come out of there, you've got literally 30 seconds wait before you get your photo. If you want another copy, it's another 30 seconds wait. Hand over your money, no problems. You get the email of your photo within seconds as well. Incredibly efficient. Epic photos, high five, great job.
Right.
And we're back. Continuity sucks.
No, I'm going to just say much editing later. But anyway, one thing I'm not going to let them off, which I found really shocking, was the cost of a signature is exactly the same cost as a photograph, which is very shocking because obviously in the UK, no, they are always significantly cheaper.
Okay, yeah, I will give this one. That was very expensive. I think it was $125 for Stanley autograph.
It was $100 for Nathan Fillion, so I thought,
Yeah, it's a lot of money, and that was very expensive, and that's why I didn't get any autographs apart from one for a present for someone who I'm not going to say anything more about. And also Rob Paulson, who's this voice actor guy we've really been big fans of. So I got one from him, but he was much cheaper. But yeah, for the big stars, that was very, very expensive.
Sean, is that common in the States? Because where I come from, a signature is usually 1/3 the cost of a photo op. Because I remember getting Donnie Yen's stuff, signed, and it was oh, I can't remember now. Maybe. But let's say it was not exactly the same cost as the photo ops.
No, it's the last couple of years it has gotten a lot more expensive. You can see the bigger the star is getting, the more they're going to charge you for the autograph or the picture. So, years ago when Nathan Fillion was here, maybe it was $50, $60, but he's gotten a lot more popular. The fans want it, so they feel that they can just, charge it more, and they do, and we still pay. So, yeah.
But I think well, that's true with people getting more popular, but I also think the average has gone up, though. Because Stanley is going to be ridiculously popular whatever happens, but $125, it wouldn't have been $125 a year ago, going back in time,
Yeah, it's, I've never got Stanley's photograph or autograph or anything like that. I guess a good example is our first year, James Marsters was here, and autograph for $20 or something like that, versus last year, the year before he was here, it was up to $75 for the autograph and everything. So big jump in pricing and everything like that. But yeah, I think it is.
Excuse me, James Masters, we are talking about the same one. We are talking about Spike and that bloke from... He's not particularly been active. Surely it would be the case of if he's not been active, it would go down, not up.
Right. No, I guess once you stop doing big stuff, you get more money for your whatever. I mean, maybe he just needs to pay his bills. I don't know.
So having never done big stuff at all, surely my autograph must be worth a fortune. I want $200 from both of you.
Alrighty then. Okay, and now I guess we start on the Saturday and then the parade. I have to admit, I skipped the parade because I did...
Fool! You fool!
Well, no. This is, I think... Actually, it's a good time to bring up this subject because DragonCon is a 4-day con, and you actually think about it. That's kind of unusual because in the UK, we'd be lucky to get a 2-day event, but to actually get... Because, even MCM London, the Friday isn't even really a full day.
Friday's the day you go shopping.
Yeah. But it sort of dawned on me because I started on Thursday and I was doing Friday. I was like, Saturday, I was like, I'm going to skip the parade to have some rest, so that way I'd be alive in the evening, and I think it was a good payoff in my case. But for first timers, definitely check out the parade. But I have to admit, in my own defense, the second year I came here, it was still diminished returns for me. I mean, there's just so many times I could see medieval times float stand again. I thought, first time that was cool. They're like horses, and you got nice. But the second time, it's like, oh, I saw that last year. But enough of my opinion. What was your opinion of the parade, since you've done it a lot more longer than me and have actually participated in it?
Yeah, so this is the second time I did the parade. Sean, this fine penguin, managed to get us a bunch of tickets. So yeah, I did the parade with my friends, Kelsey and Donnie. Lex did it as well, former person on this podcast. And yes, we all went as Batman villains, and it was amazing. Just the sights you get. The crowd is 6 deep all the way down. People have been camping out for hours. They're cheering you along, and just I had, give out the little badges to everybody. I had 250 made. I gave those all out pretty much on the parade. It was brilliant. We were going there with Joker and Harley and Penguin to the sides, and we were getting the crowd to chant things like "Down with Batman" and things like that. It was just absolutely brilliant. And yeah, we were just one small part of the parade. We were block 7 out of 30 or something. The heroes and villains section, yeah. So it was stunning. And come back to me in a minute because we get Sean's impression. Because I've got some really cool things I saw later which happened in the parade.
Well, I've walked in the parade for quite a number of years as various different characters. Each year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The crowd sizes are just, they keep getting larger. And I mean, the 80,000 people that we had here at the con is nothing for the amount of people that just come on Saturday morning to watch the parade. It seems like the majority of Atlanta just swarms on us. And this year was the first year that they actually broadcasted on the CW. So thank you, CW. Plug. Yeah, the CW. They were the local TV station and everything, and they aired it in the morning. They rebroadcast it at night. They put it on a live stream on TV. Dragoncon TV, if you're not wanting to fight the crowds and everything, you can always watch it in your hotel room, or if you're in one of the host hotels, it's got the closed circuit television. They broadcast it, and it's pretty awesome. It's one of the highlights of the year and stuff like that, is doing the parade, and it was a really, really fun time.
Okay, so Saturday, was it?
Wow.
I'm trying to work out if Saturday was really the most busiest day, because having sort of survived Thursday and Friday, I thought, it felt about the same, because everyone was saying it's supposed to be the most busiest and intensest day. It's just, I don't know. What did you think?
Well, I want to go back to the parade because a couple of things happened. I didn't see them myself, but I saw them later. So one of the things which happens at the parade, and it's sort of annoying, is you get these religious guys there with big signs telling us we're all miserable sinners, yes, and shouting at us. So they have megaphones. They shout a lot. They are, you're quite happy to have whatever religious views you want.
Actually, let me stop you there, because normally they only ever come out on the parade, but I think this year around they appeared on the Thursday and the Friday, and that was yeah.
Yeah, mainly the parade, and they did a whole lap of the parade route, doing things there, and then found like a site, and he was actually on a ladder. It wasn't just him, actually, there's 3 of them. But there was firstly somebody there as a priest of Talos, with a sign saying Talos hates elves, and he was, instead of doing all that, he was doing all the stuff from Skyrim about that kind of thing, which was quite funny. And then there was a part of the parade, they had the handmaids going past, and every single one of them, just as a line, flipped him off as they were going past. I think, I liked that, and I saw that on YouTube, and it's like, yeah, First Amendment, freedom of speech and all that stuff, but that guy, you can have whatever religious views you want, but that, shouting at people, having a bit of fun and not doing anybody any harm, what you doing, dude?
Exactly. I had gotten out of the parade, finished it, and came back, and there was a gentleman on another street corner, megaphone and everything, and then behind him was a Randy Marsh, and he had a giant bouncy ball that was his testicles, and was waving and everything like that behind this guy's back. It was really hilarious. But yeah, First Amendment right, but still, you're not going to bring us down. You're not going to stop us. We're going to have fun. We're a bunch of loving, caring people. We're not going to go to hell if you believe in that, just for having a good time and enjoying it.
Yeah, for those not familiar, because a lot of people, they've got the stereotype of the Southern Baptists, the whole hell and brimstone. We should remind people that Atlanta is quite a very, very liberal city, though apparently most of Georgia doesn't think that way. But so
I think even by Georgia standards and that kind of thing, I think most people, even in the very religious areas, are like, this is what I believe, but I'm not going to stand on a ladder and shout at you if you're not doing anything which is offensive or causing problems, if you're just having a little bit of fun.
Yeah. But let's get back to DragonCon. And these
Okay,
guys.
gotcha.
We don't want to give them any more time.
All right,
Yeah.
but yeah, back to the point of the. I believe the incident did, unfortunately, yeah, we do have to talk about this at length. The incident did actually happen on the Saturday. Actually, I better cut it right now because I don't want to stop in the middle of it. Right, back much editing later. And yeah, a very unfortunate incident happened in the Marriott where, where the chairs and bottles were thrown out a window, injuring 2 women.
Yes, and they're both been released from hospital now. They had they need stitches and stuff to their heads, and obviously if you get hit on the head by something like that, they want to keep an eye on you. But thankfully, the checks came out okay, and they turned out it was okay. But that is pure luck. I think that could have been really bad. Apparently, it came off the 10th floor, so that is going very, very fast when it gets to ground level.
Yeah, the chair was thrown outside of the building on one of the outside balconies and struck some lady in the head. She, multiple stitches. She is fine, but there's no need for any of that. And we can point fingers all we want, but I would say know your limit with your alcohol. Don't get all super crazy or anything like that. I mean, rule number 1, don't be a dick. And throwing a chair out into a crowd, that's just uncalled for and not cool.
We've had similar incidents in the UK, though obviously we don't have a really massive high-tiered. I'll probably have to insert the establishing shot hotel that. Normally I think one incident that sprung to mind was somebody threw a massive block of ice outside one of the Ibis windows, and thank God nobody was underneath that. But statistically, throwing it outside the Marriott onto the no smoking area, you got a high probability of hitting somebody. And whoever done this, yes, very, very evil people. And I hope
The cops get you.
Yes.
Yes, the police are investigating. As far as we're aware, they've not arrested anyone yet, but hopefully they've got CCTV. Hopefully it's a matter of time. It's a problem in a lot of cons everywhere. I know Kitta had problems with this. It's just people getting too drunk. People getting much, much too drunk. Come on, guys. Have fun, have a drink, but don't do that kind of stuff. But then again, this is one incident in something which went for 4 days with 80,000+ people.
There was one year that we were walking just behind us, and somebody had either tossed or it accidentally fell from one of these balconies in here, a little thing of silly putty, and when that thing hit, it sounded like a brick hitting the wall, and the plastic just shattered everywhere, and we were feet away from it. But if somebody had been right underneath it, that would have been really, really painful, if not death. And these balconies are great for viewing and everything like that. I could see an accident happening, but something should be done, whether it's a plastic guard or something up there. But you put anything on those railings and it will teeter and go right off the edge.
All right, because I believe there have been incidences where bottles have just basically fallen from where we are right now.
Yep.
There's somebody leaning on the side, puts a bottle there, doesn't realise it's not on the railings, and I think plastic covers would be a good idea, but not just for DragonCon, just in general.
Okay. I think besides that unfortunate incident, we should just conclude about the overcrowding. And again, I want your input on this. It has definitely gotten worse, and there are calls that perhaps DragonCon should be moved to the convention center. There's apparently a bigger convention center where MomoCon is held and stuff like that. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that the way that it's set up now is what makes it unique. Putting it in one of just a large convention hall would be going back to a giant dealer reel, And go ahead.
It's a very simple thing. You have a certain number of tickets you sell, you run out of those tickets, that's your lot. Sorry, people. So just DragonCon, if they feel, yeah, we're getting too crowded now, that's enough, we're going to cap this at 75,000 or whatever.
I believe you were still actually able to buy Saturday passes, I think.
You could buy any day passes you want on the day.
Yeah, they were, you know, and it's a business. They want to make their money. But yeah, if you're going to sell your Saturday passes, like Dave was saying, you know, here's the cap. This is what we sell for the 4 days. Here's the cap we sell for the Saturday. So that way it's not overcrowded. Or, you know, I've heard people suggest maybe DragonCon attendees are the only ones allowed into the hotels, or, you know, allowed to stay here, so you don't get the overcrowding and everything like that. You know, if the hotel's sold out, well, hotel's sold out.
But I've got to say, it was crowded, but it wasn't.
Much editing later, were we?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I know you said it was crowded. Of course, it was completely crowded on the dance floor. I think the real crowd issues, though, mainly are the sky bridges. And it's not the sky bridges themselves, actually. It's just a sort of convoluted route they've got going here, there, and everywhere. But I don't think it was worse than previous years. I think it was much the same, really, on the Saturday. It's just, you know, if you want to get from the Hyatt to the Hilton, you know, which on a normal thing here today would take us probably less than 5 minutes, give yourself, you know, 20 minutes, half an hour on the Saturday, because it's like that. But, you know, it's crowded, but I don't think it was any worse than previous years. I think the queues getting into panels were apparently worse, but I've never actually gone to a panel in my entire time at DragonCon. That's why I buy myself a streaming pass so I can watch all the panels afterwards.
There it is. Yeah, I would say the crowds, you know, it is the sky bridges, the way that they're organized. You know, if there was actually somebody there monitoring the coming and going and everything like that, or just put up one of those rope things or something like that to kind of section it off, it'd probably go a lot smoother. They do bottleneck at certain points and stuff like that, which is always a problem. But yeah, other than the sky bridges and obviously the main floor of the Marriott or wherever you are, like, it's going to be crowded and it's going to be super hot and stuff like that, you know.
You expect that if you don't like that particular crowd, go down one level, it'd be a lot less problematical.
I would, except in the Hilton, they removed an escalator, and I just realized, oh yeah, there used to be an escalator here, because I was thinking, this just...
That escalator. That escalator was so super handy. You could just zip down the escalator, right out the door, no problems. You're out and everything like that. I couldn't tell you how many times I went to go to that escalator, and it wasn't there, and I'm like, oh.
In all fairness, I mean, there are a set of stairs not that far away from the escalator, which is probably why they deleted it, but still it was a case of, yeah, I figured, oh yeah, it's gone.
Oh, and the whole renovation of the Hilton is beautiful. I mean, the way that they've redone everything in there, it looks really, really nice.
The Hilton is the worst for elevators over all the hotels. We were lucky because they actually liked our costumes so much, and because we were very nice to the staff and let them do photos. We actually got the pass so we could use the staff lift, which let us outflank a lot of that problems. But yeah, the Hilton, as of all the hotels, because I had various friends staying there, the elevators are a nightmare because I think they've only got 4.
I believe they call it elevator bingo or something like that.
Pretty much. We stayed there our second year, and we were up on the like 20th floor or something like that, and we waited there for an hour for an elevator, and we finally just huffed it down 20 flights of stairs with our luggage and everything the last day. It was insane. It was insane. Yeah.
Okay, I think now we can move nicely on to the Sunday, and what was happening on Sunday? I mean, I don't want to, yeah, was there anything happening ahead of the Sunday? Then the masquerade, which for the first time I actually had to wait in line, and the line was quite long.
Yeah. Well, Sunday for me, because I was actually competing in the masquerade, and we'll come to that, because it doesn't really start till 6 at night, So all I did was I went to the con early, just in civvies, and was able to hit the dealer room before it got too crowded, and also hit the it's called the Walk of Fame, where they've got all the famous people, and you get autographs to meet people and have a good time. So I went there in civvies, and yeah, that went very well. And then about midday, headed back and did all the makeup for the Joker.
Anything happened ahead of Sunday before? I think we'll just skip to the masquerade.
Well, I was in the big Marvel photo shoot as the Mole Man, and because there were no Fantastic Four people to fight me, I rode solo, and they do little subgroups and everything. So I was with the street level heroes and villains, whatever. For the subgroup, the larger group, they split it into two. They do the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they do the comic books. And if you're in the comics, you go to this one. And because I didn't fit anywhere because I'm the Mole Man and I'm super special, I got right down in front. So front.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's change the topics tightly, since we're killing for time to get to the masquerade. Yeah, the way all photo shoots are organized here is again, even because obviously these are definitely unofficial. They're usually run by Togs. It was like I went to so many different photo shoots: a Star Trek one, an Assassins one, and the Overwatch one. The Overwatch one took quite a while because because obviously you split it up into like each and every single character, and it's always hilarious if there's only just one of them. So and then they always get a big round of applause. Then you get giant group shots.
Well, also a lot of the Overwatch costumes are very big and slow to move.
Yeah, the FCF guys, I believe that's right. They are the ones that organize the DC photo shoot on Saturday, and then Sunday they do the Marvel one. There's a photographer from Marvel.com, so all of our pictures get put up there, and it's a really fun time.
And I tell you what's really also amazing, they've got a group called Dragoncon Photo Shoots, and in there they actually do an Excel spreadsheet telling you what time the various photo shoots are and where. So, you know, Friday at 3 o'clock you will know that it's, that was Batman Heroes and Villains, wasn't it? Yeah, so you know, and that will be on Hilton Steps A. So you just got this wonderful Excel spreadsheet, and you just search whatever your fandom is, and that's your photo shoot, and you just go there and you have a ball.
Sweet. And now,
Yeah, we need this in UK cons.
okay, sweet. And well, is there a con in the UK which is so big you actually need an app to actually know what the hell's going on? I don't think so.
Well, in terms of numbers, there's bigger cons, but in terms of the amount going on, there's nothing like this.
As you say, Sean, big dealers room. That's essentially my conclusion of the MCM London. It is indeed a giant dealers room, and one where you can't use the front door. But anyway, Now we got into the masquerade, and I think it's the first time because apparently it's getting bigger and bigger, because I can't even remember now. I think in 2015, I had no problem getting through the door, but apparently last year it was actually really, because again, I was in the masquerade last year, so I never actually experienced it on the other side. So I was determined really to get the best seat. So I was actually lining up at about 6 o'clock, and there was already like 100 people ahead of me in line. And again, the way all lines are organized here, it's like you can't sit on the stairs. So it was leaving the ballroom, going up a flight of stairs, then going out into the street, and then I was waiting alongside Baker Street, I believe. And normally when I do, normally I'm still in cosplay myself, so it was quite amusing. People asking for my photographs while I was waiting in line for the masquerade.
Yeah, I mean, the masquerade, I've never actually seen it. I've always been a competitor in it. It's very well organised backstage, which is nice. I'm going to get the criticism out of the way first, because everything else is brilliant. One of the problems they're really starting to have now is numbers. Less people seem to want to do it, because you get the huge crowds who want to see it. And I think at least part of it is because the prize pool's not very good here at Dragoncon. Not as good as certain places. Yeah, there's certain money for the really top prizes, but it's not that great compared to what you can win in much smaller cons. And also you win the Dragoncon dollars, which you meant to spend in the dealer room, but the dealers won't accept it. So,
They don't?
Nope.
I thought they were supposed to.
They're supposed to, they don't. Because they're just going to have this hanging around for another year before they can change it back. So they're like, no, we want actual money, thank you.
Oh, damn.
So That will be my one thing with DragonCon, because let's face it, there's lots of big international competitions as USA does. Wouldn't it be amazing if DragonCon, say, did the WCS qualifier for the USA, rather than, their crazy system where you got to do stupid qualifiers for that, then you got to go to Atlantic City or something, Do it at DragonCon. Pick up a big competition, guys. Come on.
We have never actually gotten into the masquerade to watch it live. We're usually looking at the crowds going, no, thank you. But again, it's one of those, it broadcasts on DragonCon TV. There are overflow rooms if you didn't catch it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Or that is a really good time when the crowd size has diminished because everybody is either at the masquerade or watching it in the room. So you can get around a lot easier when, half of the con has disappeared on you. So, yeah. But, yeah, there's always good stuff. I like watching the masquerade. Lots of good costumes and everything like that.
Yeah, because again, I've got a dual experience, because obviously in 2015 I didn't compete, and I thought, yeah, this is brilliant, because obviously you got nice little pre-show entertainment where things are judged, and of course we did talk about this the first and the second year. Yes, we have to talk about Duck Dodgers and the 24th and a half century.
Duck Dodgers, yes. We'll get to that in a bit, but can I talk a little bit about being part of this time? So I basically teamed up with my friend Kelsey, and we did a song and dance and electroshock therapy act as Joker and Dr. Harleen Quinzel. And the act went pretty well. We did have a couple of slips in it, but we don't think anyone else noticed. We knew, but, it seemed to go very well. And, wonderful crowd backstage, beautifully organised. Everything was really, really marvellous. And we won Best Journeyman again, so...
That's 3 years in a row, I believe.
No, I won Best Journeyman 2 years ago. I won Best Comedy last year, and now I'm Best Journeyman again.
Oh, okay, I stand corrected, but it's still back-to-back prizes.
Yes, and I'm sitting next to a Master of Comedy, though. Master of Cosplay. Master of Comedy as well, of course.
Okay, if you say so.
Yes, because he won Best in Show last year. So, yeah, it was really, really good fun.
And talking about the masquerade, we should talk about how many really massive heavyweights there were. It was like we had a character from League of Legends, which was an absolute masterpiece, and surprisingly, he didn't get anything. And then we had one of the people that actually won the Masters was actually quite a famous one. An actual diva was an actual functioning mecha with Stephen Light, and she didn't get Best in Show because I believe we were trying to explain.
You can't get Best in Show if you're in the Master level. You're on your own separate competition.
Oh, okay.
Best Master, basically Masters only compete against other Masters.
Oh, okay. Fair dues.
But so anyway, so with us, yeah, we did our act and went down very, very well. Got a lot of cheering. DragonCon TV yet again managed to mess up filming it, though. They managed to mess up filming the costume change. Damn it, DragonCon TV.
Yeah, that happened 2 years ago. Actually,
as well, yeah.
Actually, yeah, no, I was getting back. Actually, sorry, let me just finish off that point. Much editing around Zoom. Yeah, a lot of people were surprised the League of Legends person didn't do it, and they were explaining that, yeah, because you are awarded on presentation, whereas people in those large outfits, all they can really do is move left and right.
It's kind of a tough one there. It's a very... the judges, because it's not a pre-judge contest, the judges, it's very much how much of an impression you make on the stage there and then. So, yeah, I guess we made a pretty good impression, and we got, a nice prize for it, which is great. But I prefer probably pre-judge contest, but it does take out a lot of your day, and it takes out basically the whole day for the judges, so I can understand why they wouldn't want to do it. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm quite happy with what we brought. It went very well, and it's always great if the audience enjoys what you do, and if you get a prize, that's a bonus.
I believe you were just walking around the con with that massive certificate.
Hell yeah. same as 2 years ago. Yeah, well, yeah, and people will come up to you and they want photos with you and things because they've seen you on Dragoncon TV or they've seen you in there and like it. So we're all doing that, and actually quite a lot of our winners because there's a hunchback from Notre Dame couple who won Best Beginners, and they were before us in the queue, so we became really good friends. And there he was going around and he was singing Hellfire to people and things like that just in the crowd. It was great.
Okay then, and Sunday night, it was a bit of a blur. I think I could not really tell the difference between Sunday night and Saturday night. I think I just hooked up with a friend, and we devised a really cool system where instead of walking around, we just stand still. So that way we get to see cool cosplayers, and if anybody wanted to take pictures, they would stop. So yeah, I think that's probably the best idea. If you got a costume and stuff like that, perhaps just standing still is actually a better idea.
Yeah, and yeah, we did a photo shoot with a photographer friend of mine with the Joker and Harley and the electroshock therapy stuff. Oh yes, the other thing we were doing backstage is we were giving everybody who wanted it electroshock therapy. And yeah, we're going around giving that to people in the crowd as well afterwards. You'll see the kit when we get to London MCM. It's highly amusing, I think, anyway.
Let's see. Sunday night. I think I was doing a Heroes and Villains Cards Against Humanity game, and that was pretty fun. Tiny little room, but yeah, if you've ever played Cards Against Humanity, the Heroes and Villains version is much better.
All right. I think we talked about this last year and probably maybe the year before, but yeah, the amount of stuff that is always going on, that, like, especially in the Western, you got a lot of board gaming and stuff going on in the Western, I believe.
Yeah, I think that that's where they moved the gaming room and all that stuff this year. I don't know. We went looking for it in the Hilton where it usually is, and it was not there anymore. So we didn't find the game room.
I thought it was actually as part of America's Mart, although I might be wrong. Because the dealer stuff was in the America's Mart 2. I thought it was America's Mart 1. Okay. You could tell, yeah. The thing about Dragoncon is you'll be able to do maybe 5% of it if you really, really, really work hard. You see hardly any of it. And in fact, this podcast, I mean, we haven't told you about all sorts of amazing things we did, like the Speakeasy. Oh, yeah. Speakeasy with Lex in the Satine costume, with her drinking absinthe. You'll never know about that. That's for us.
All right. And then, yeah, down to the final leg. We then have Monday, which, okay, I think I said it the first year, and I'm going to say it in the second year, and I'm saying it this year. It's always sad, because by Monday, everyone's just going home. The con has pretty much died at that point, and the only reason why people are sticking around is to go to the dealer's room looking for bargains, and because you can move around. Although saying that, though, it was still busy in the dealer's room even on Monday, so, I mean, you could at least walk in, but...
Yeah, I would say, I think everybody's starting to catch on that Monday is the best day to go to the dealer's room. They're trying to unload everything, hey, make a deal with me, and I'll give it to you for whatever you want. And, so there was a lot of that going on. We spent the last 2 hours of the dealer's room being open just wandering around. We barely got to the third floor with Artist Alley, and then they kicked us out. So, but, yeah.
Well, I spent most of my time actually on the Monday in the Artist Alley bit, and that was awesome. I got, I like to buy little presents for all my friends, so I bought some nice bits of art. I got a really nice little commissioned one picture for you, and I got Danny a Monkey King comic book and a Lopan coaster, as you do. Yeah. And yes, I bought loads of art, quite a lot for my new flat as well, which will look very good on the wall. So yeah, Monday was that, and then we had our Dragoncon wrap-up meal at the steakhouse, which was lovely, and then the party.
Oh yes, this was a new thing, because I've been going for the last 2 years, and I wasn't aware that there was a party in the Hilton where everyone donates their leftover booze, and I have to say it was probably one of the greatest things. And yeah, I'll probably link you in to the separate interview I just did with Chicken a moment ago. But yeah, we just ended up shacking up with this aspiring rapper person, and he was singing about existentialism and anti-disestablishment. Yeah, any word you would give him, he would rap about it. It was the greatest thing ever. And
skills.
But the amazing thing was, the party was told, yeah, instead of the hotel shutting down the party, they just moved us to the ballroom, which was actually just made it even better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the basis of the party is loads of people got the bit of booze left. They don't want to take it home, so you just basically bring any bottles you've got, put it in the table in the middle. Anyone can take whatever they want from the table. You know, you don't have to bring anything, but you know, might as well. You know, and yeah, you just go meet new people, drink, see people you haven't had a chance to see all weekend because of the madness, and get various levels of drunk, and you can get really, really drunk and be like the 501st, because those guys were wasted.
We also ended up finding somebody that was selling bits of the old Marriott carpet. So I've got a nice big foot by a foot chunk of the old Marriott carpet, and I will be framing that and passing it down through all of my generations.
If you've never been to Dragoncon, you do not know the legend of the carpet, the sadly now gone carpet, although apparently there's still some of it around in closets, right? And you got these people who got themselves the priests of the carpet, and they wear cloaks made designed like the carpet. And what you've got to do is you've got to perform quests for them, right, to prove yourself worthy. And once you do that and you finish your thing, they will take you up to see where this secret location is, where the last surviving bit of the carpet is, and they will go there, and you will show your reverence to the carpet. So it's some closet somewhere here in the Marriott, but no one quite knows where. Only those officiated by the priests. And if you prove yourself worthy, though, they will take you there to pay homage to it.
All right, and well, to wrap up, yeah, that was Dragoncon 2017. So what were your final impressions? And just be curious, because you both have been going for a long time. This is my third year, and yeah, I'll start off. Again, I'm still discovering new things, and again, I haven't been to a lot of cons recently this year, and yeah, Dragoncon is, in my honest opinion, it is still objectively one of the best cons I've ever been to. I mean, okay, maybe sadly, I'd like to pretend I've gone to quite a large pool of cons, but mostly in the UK, perhaps. I think, yeah, I already asked this earlier. You know, surely in Florida, you know, you got things like MegaCon, which I think is a big thing, and as you say, they are just dealers' rooms. So in your honest opinion, it's still the biggest and best?
Oh yeah, DragonCon is still the biggest and best con that I've ever gone to. Yeah.
Okay, this is my 5th Dragoncon. My top 5 are all Dragoncons, cons I've ever gone to, and I've gone to probably many now. And UK ones, but also some in Europe, one in China. You know, I've done a lot of cons, but my top 5 are all Dragoncons. But this was the best. This is my best year I've ever had at Dragoncon. This has been nothing but joy. I have loved every second of it. And thank you guys, and thank you to all my friends I've had there. This has been such an awesome, awesome year. Thank you so much. And yeah, why the hell are you not here? Anybody watching who's never been to Dragoncon?
I'm not going to say somebody said it was one of their worst cons. I mean, fair dues. Yeah, I'm not going to disrespect their opinion, but to me, it's like, I just find it objectively impossible.
Okay, somebody we don't know, somebody just posted on the Dragoncon thing, and that could just be somebody trolling, or it could be somebody just with a bad experience. You know, you got 80,000 people, somebody is not going to have a good time, and it's a shame, but, you know, it happens. You know, so, yeah, and of course, you know, the guys go, I've been coming for 38 years, and, you know, it wasn't like this in my day, you know, so, fine. I still think my top 5 cons ever are all Dragoncons, and this was the best.
For real, the best.
Would I lie to you? Would I lie to you?
Oh, okay then. Well, anyway, that's wrapping up this 2017 special. I'm your host, Danny Huang.
Sean O'Donnell.
Dave the Penguin Collier.
Adios.